Hey everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to be back with you for a new YouTube Live. For those of you that follow me every Thursday, I share YouTube Live. It's been a little quiet on the channel here lately. COVID finally caught up with me. I thought I was going to miss it. I was going to be that one person that was going to miss it, but it got me over the last few weeks. But I'm very excited to be back with you. So I am without a moderator today. For those of you that chat with Brenda in the chat box, she's on the road. She was here visiting with me over the last week and a half. We had a conference in New Orleans. Oh my goodness, what a fun place to be. And she headed back to Idaho today. So my iPad is my trusty moderator today. So I just want to make sure everyone can hear me, because you guys know I have been known to have audio issues and I don't want that. But it sounds like everyone's there. Oh, Paula says, everyone give Connie a thumbs up. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Hey, I don't want to do a ton of chatting because I know you guys are excited to get going with the project. So putting the iPad away for a minute, I guess we'll just put that on the floor. I have got the coolest card lined up for you guys. This is kind of this really cool triple fold, fun fold. It is easy. We're going to create our own handmade, homemade designer series paper today. But not to worry, I've got another card to share with you that we're going to use designer series paper. You're going to want to stick around to the end because I've got a trick for you on creating that one with a belly band. And I kind of picked up something new that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and move over to my stamping table. Are you guys ready? I hope you're going to create with me because I shared all the measurements there. You can always go back after the video to simplysimplestamping.com. You'll find it. But you guys know I love to give you a free download. That's one of my favorites. And so I've got a free download for you. It's going to have all the supplies. It's going to have all your measurements because remember, we want to make this card easy. And if you need to order any of the supplies, you can just click there in your file. You'll be able to click it. You'll see all the supplies. And of course, because it is a fun fold, I know many times you might need to come back and watch the video again. Can I just tell you, because I made the card so long ago, that I'm hoping I remember how to make it. So, you know, if I had the ability to go back and watch the video, I would. All right, there we go with our file. Let me show you how this fun fold works. We're going to create this fun birthday card. And like I said, I wanted to create my own designer series paper. I wanted to do something a little bit different. We've got a great little happy birthday tag. This one in particular is going to tie up with a ribbon. But remember, I told you I've got a different one for you. We've got lots of happy birthdays going on there. And that is our fun triple fold card. Isn't that awesome? And yes, we're going to make this designer series paper. It's fun. It's easy. I know you're going to love it. Okay. So as I just said, it has been many, many weeks since I made this card because I was down with COVID. So please be patient with me. I may have to refer back to my original to remember what I did. Like I said, I kind of wish I had a video myself of what I did. All right, so we're going to start. I've got a piece of Orchid Oasis cardstock. Are you ready? 5.5 by 11. A little bit different measurement. So 5.5 by 11. And let me share with you the scoring you're going to do. You're going to score it 1 1/4, 5.5, and 9 1/4. And guys, you can see I've already done that. This is how it's going to fold. Okay. So I want you to see, it can be a little tricky sometimes because this isn't it's kind of like not a normal fold, right? So you're going to fold in half, fold back, and fold over. Okay. That's what we're going to do with the base. All right. Let's talk about this. You know what? This really does not use a lot of cardstock. Don't you love that? When you just need a few pieces. I've got basic white here. This one is 5 1/4 by 7.5. I have a 3.5 by 5 1/4 and a 1 by 4. The last thing you're going to need is some ribbon to tie up your card. I've got this gorgeous rose gold. Boy, is that the trend right now, that rose gold. So pretty. And I've got 24 inches of ribbon. Of course, use whichever ribbon suits you, but I thought this one was really pretty with this Orchid Oasis. All right, I'll tell you what, we're going to start with creating our homemade designer series paper because I'm going to get messy. I'm going to bring in some grid paper underneath me. And guys, we're going to use the artistically inked on this card. Why? Why did I choose this? Well, it's got a great big flower. It's got another pretty good sized flower. And I said, yes, that's the one for me. It had our happy birthday in it. We've got leaves, some other good things. Let me share with you our ink pad colors: Highland Heather, Orchid Oasis, Soft Suede, and Old Olive. All right, you know what? I think we're going to start with the Highland Heather, all right? And when I do this technique, I tend to like to start with my largest stamp first, all right? And I hope some of you are creating along with me. I always love it when you create with me. It's so fun to craft with friends, right? I'm going to randomly stamp this big flower. It's probably going to end up being about 5 times on here. So you can see I kind of just made an X because we want to be able to fill things in really well. So now I'm going to bring in my Orchid Oasis. It was just nice to kind of bring in these two colors together. And what I like with this Orchid Oasis is that it's a purpley blue. And that's why I thought the Highland Heather was so nice with it. So let's just kind of fill in. I'm not going to put this one away just yet because I may come back in and add some more. Let me use my Old Olive. And in this stamp set, I have 2 leaves. I have a double one. That's going to be for my big flowers. And I have a little one for my little flowers. I'm going to start with my big one. And guys, we are simply just going to see how we're just going to fill in any blank spots. This is all going to get chopped up. So I'm not worried about perfection or anything here, but I'm just going to kind of add some of this Old Olive in there. You know what? Like I've got a little blank spot there. We'll just, so you just kind of add it in. Let's come in with this little stamp. And I like to stamp it twice. Do you see how I hit that flower? It's all good. It does not matter, but I do like this one to be a double. So we can just kind of fill in. Let's see, this one is missing one. Let's put that one here. All right, that is looking pretty good. Now we're going to come in with some soft suede. Now, one thing I always like to tell you guys, oh, by the way, I said keep this one out in case you need it. I don't think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and put it away. My #1 tip, close up your ink pads when you're done. Do you know how many times I have laid my cardstock or my card in an ink pad? Too many to count. All right, so let's bring in some soft suede and we're going to fill in. There is a wonderful little stamp that's going to fill in the center of those flowers, of the Highland Heather ones. And then this part's my favorite. Look, we've got these little dots. I love, well, one, I love to create my own handmade designer series paper. But I also like to make sure everything's filled in. I don't like a lot of white space because, like I said, I'm going to be cutting this up and I want it to look all filled in. I don't want there to be dead space. So I'm just going to add some of these wonderful little dots here. Do you see how well it just magically kind of fills in? There we go. What do you think? Perfect designer series paper, right? And it wasn't that difficult. And you know what? It didn't take us that long either. It's super easy. All right. So, oh, you know what? Before I put too many things away, and you know, I always like to get all my stamping done at once. This is for the inside of the card. And let me show you what I'm going to do here because I do want to go ahead and stamp the inside. I'm going to come back in with Highland Heather. You know, after I got it all put away, that's when I realized I need to do more. We'll stamp that down there in the corner. And pardon, I think I just reached right across the camera. Let's get that soft suede and add a couple leaves. Remember, this is a birthday card, but it could be anything. You guys know it could be a great thank you card, get well card. And I'm going to come back in one more time with that soft suede and those dots and just add a few. All right. Now, like I said, this is a happy birthday card. So I'm going to come in. Let's see. I think I'm going to stamp that in that Orchid Oasis. And like I said, all of these stamps, all of these images came from one stamp set. So there's my happy birthday. Love that font. Do you guys remember we had that little 1x4? Well, let me tell you, I'm going to come in with my Banners Pick-a-Punch. It's 1 inch, so it's going to slide right in those grooves. So it lines up perfectly. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip it over because I want to make sure I'm not shifting it all. We're going to give ourselves a great banner. Now, I want to show you, if you do not have this punch, this can still be done. And let me show you. I'm going to show you on the other side. How about that? You will just cut a line right in the center. And then you're going to go from one end to the other end. So you can make it yourself, but do you see the difference? This one's a little bit neater than my hand cut one, but I wanted you to know there are ways that you can do it even if you don't have the punch. All right. So I didn't quite do it there, but I'm going to show you. I did it in advance. You're going to stamp happy birthday with the banner there on the right side. All right. So we're going to have that punched. And guess what? Now we're going to do some cutting. Now we're going to take that fabulous piece of our Homemade Designer Series paper, and we're going to chop it up. All right, are you ready? Okay, our first cut is going to be 1.5. Remember, this is 5 1/4 by 7.5. So we want that 7.5 up at the top. First cut is going to be 1.5. We'll set that off to the side. The next one is going to be a 4 by 5 1/4. So let's go to 4 inches. There we go. There's our next piece. This one that's left over, we're going to cut it in half. Right now it's 2 inches. We're going to cut it in half into 2 1-inch pieces. That is what we need to decorate our triple fold card. All right. So we're ready to put a card together. Can you believe it? We're already ready to put a card together. That is just crazy. I mean, we've only been on for less than 15 minutes. I'm going to come in with my bone folder. Oh, I fibbed. I still have stamping to do here. I told you guys are going to have some grace with me because it's been a while since I made the card. Let me show you how I decorated this because it was just a little bland for me. I'm going to bring my grid paper back in and let's open this up. And I'm going to take that happy birthday and orchid opulence. This is really fun. Are you ready? I'm going to start right here in the middle. Doesn't matter where. There, we've got our first one, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to come off and over. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to fold that under for just a second. Hopefully you can see why. Ooh, I better not do it that way. You know what? I don't like that. That's not working for me. I'm going to do this. I just do not want to stamp on this area. Okay, so I'm just going to use my handy dandy file here. All right, and we're going to let's get this and we'll get, all right, so there we're starting. And you know what? While I'm stamping this is great because it gives me a chance to chat with you guys. But before I do, we're going to kind of mix these up. I don't want all the word happy birthday or anything going exactly in the same, direction. Going this way. Does that make sense? I think it does. And you can see we can just keep adding. Now, the further you go down, you don't have to do quite as much. We always like that. And you know what? This really does go pretty fast. It is not a time-consuming thing. Here I said, well, let's see. Maybe I can read your comments while I do this. Really, Connie? Like you can read comments while you're trying to stamp things at an angle? That was crazy. Let's see. We've got Kathy and Melissa. Melissa says she's loving the colors. I know. I really, honestly, Orchid Oasis and Highland Heather probably wouldn't have been one of my first choices, but boy, I like how it came out. Do you guys see how easy this is? Just build. We're just gonna build. Look at this. I only have one more. So yeah, it's a pretty fast card. There we go. What a great use of that free download. So now you see, now we have some real decoration here, and I like that. Okay, I'm going to open up my card. Let's make sure we've got it correct. Okay, so there's our happy birthday. You don't want to go and adhere all this upside down. That's always a bad thing. I am going to take that 4 by 5 1/4, and let's add that one here first. Maybe while I adhere things, I can read comments. Ramona says, I just love this card, and any card or treat bag you make. Oh, you are so kind. Thank you. Thank you, Ramona. All right, we're going to add this here to that big panel. All right, making sure you guys can follow. Here, let's get this icky thing out of here. I hate having ugly on my table. All right, now we have the 1 1/4, and that's going to go on this panel here. I mean, can I just be honest? I think you guys are going to easily be able to see where these go. The one I don't want you to do yet is this one on the outside. Why? Because as I was looking over my card, I have myself a big note. Look, add ribbon first. Translation, Connie, don't mess up on your live video. We're going to add this one to the inside. So basically, guys, let's get all of our cardstock adhered to the inside of our card. Here's our message. Such a bright, cheery card. I'm curious, have you guys made your own designer series paper before? I love doing it. It's relaxing. You know, I own all these stamps, so I love creating my own designer series paper. Katie says, I'm really loving this. Can't wait to make one similar. I'm so glad. I really did not adhere that down well. Obviously, my COVID foggy brain has not gone away yet. For those of you that have had COVID, you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? You're just kind of not all there. All right. So this is where I said, don't adhere this one just yet, because I'm going to find my ribbon here. We want to add our ribbon next. So we are going to simply, I've got 24 inches, I believe is what I said. Yeah, 24 inches. So we're going to give this a tie and a bow. I gave you plenty because, you know, when we give cards that tie up, you want the recipient to be able to retie it. And we don't want it to be too small. So I did give you plenty of ribbon there. Okay, I'm going to kind of line up that bow right there in the center. And this we're going to cover up. Okay, it's going to serve two purposes. One, it's going to hold this ribbon in place. So let me show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to slide it up because, you know, it's not adhered down or anything. So let's go about right here. I'm going to slide that ribbon over that adhesive just like that. Make sure I've got it where I want it. We give that a press. Now I don't have to worry about that ribbon falling off, right? I'm going to go a little heavy on the adhesive on this piece because that ribbon has some bulk to it, and I don't want this to fall off. I don't want to have any issues with it. So a little extra adhesive never hurt anybody. And we add that there, okay? I've got a fun trick to share with you with our little happy birthday. Are you ready? This is one, I've been using this trick forever. This is a standard office punch, a 1/4 inch office punch. You guys probably have one of these. Really, you could use just about any size punch, but you know, that's here in the USA, that's pretty much a standard. Once you do that, you're going to snip a hole or snip to the hole. Do you see? And watch what we can do. We're going to tuck it. Can you see how I'm tucking it underneath the ribbon? No, we didn't adhere it, but now it's kind of loose. It's kind of hanging there. It's awfully fun. Can you see? It's such a great way to add a tag. And yeah, it's just literally a hole, and we just cut a little slice. All right. Now we don't want to adhere that down. Why? Because when we give this card, they need to be able to open it. And if we adhere it down, they're not going to get this fabulous card opened. So that is my happy birthday card. I'm going to go ahead and tie this up real quick. You guys don't mind, do you? And I'm going to read what you guys say. Oh, Margie thought that was clever. Melody, love the tag idea. Thank you. It's like I said, it's just one that I've used for a long time. I love doing that with tags. It's just easier than trying to you know, intertwine the ribbon on there. Sometimes I just really fight with that. Now, my ribbon, I'm looking at it, it is still just a little long, but I'd rather have you have too much and have to trim off a little bit. But that is my happy birthday card. Now I want to share another card, and I've got a tip to go along with it. This card is a sending hugs. Now, you know what I love about that phrase? It covers everything. Sending hugs could be birthday and get well and thinking of you, and just because, it's like all of them. I truly love how this card came out. I used the Splendid Day Designer Series paper. FYI, if you did not know, September 1st through September 7th, that paper is on sale. Here in the US, you're going to save $3 on that specialty paper. And do you see the gold, or the foil, COVID brain? Yeah. And this one, I created a belly band instead of ribbon. Okay. And I was going to show you, this is what I did on the inside. Super simple. This is the Designer Series paper. This is the back of the Designer Series paper. So I was able to kind of showcase both of those. Plenty of room. I left it blank. I don't know about you. I do that many times. Sending hugs, like I said, can be anything. So I can stamp whatever I need right here, or I can just write my message. So another fabulous card. Oh, look, I stamped all over this one. So creativity, right? We'll just stamp all over that again, just to kind of fill that in. But what I wanted to show you is my trick that I kind of did with the belly band. This was kind of fun. So I'm going to bring in the cardstock. And by the way, all these measurements are going to be there in the tutorial. The belly band can be, it's 10 inches. It can be 1 inch, 1 1/4, whatever works for you. I think mine is 1 1/4. I have a 2 3/4 inch square here. And what I'm going to do, just add some adhesive here. And I'm going to add that to the center of my square. Okay, simple, simple. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay this on my card, and I want to center that square up. You guys following me? We're going to bring this flap around, bring it around to the front. Don't get too tight. We want to be able to slide, so I don't want you to get it so tight that people can't get that off. All right, and I'm going to kind of give it a little test. Yep, I think I'm going to be pretty good. I will now add adhesive here, and I'm going to shut that. Boy, is that ugly or what? Yes, of course it is, because we haven't prettied it up yet. Now, this is what I thought was really fun, and I need to show you. I apologize. On this one, I put a strip of Designer Series paper on it because I still had some more of that. But this morning, I just spaced that. So you could put some Designer Series paper. But what I liked is I took this piece and I would stamp Sending Hugs on it. And if you will add Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this, it will float. It's going to cover this up and float right over that square. And what I liked about it is usually we would add the belly band to the back. You know, we just add it to the back. What I loved about this is it just gave it texture. And let me go ahead and bring this one in again, because even this one, well, look, I told you, this one I used a 1 inch piece. It doesn't matter how wide you put that belly band. That's up to you. But yeah, I loved how the two squares, it was like the band was floating in between the two squares. Let's get this off because it's not done. And we'll put this one on. And you can see I just used I got to think, Splendid Stems dies, and added a Splendid Stem die to that one with more Stampin' Dimensionals. Really great card, don't you think? Let me bring this one back in so you guys can see. Oh, Melissa liked the belly band technique. Lynn says, do you ever put made for you on the back with your name? That is an excellent, excellent question. So I'm going to answer that for you. Many people will put a hand stamped by, they'll sign their name. Guys, this is artwork. This is artwork. And so, yeah, it is kind of nice. I just lost my happy birthday. Let's tuck you back in. And I do many times sign my cards. A lot of times, though, I'm giving them away. That doesn't mean you shouldn't put your name on it. But yes, I love to sign the back of my art. Some people will put it here in the center. You know, any artist is going to sign their name. And you know what? I really should do that more. So that was a very, very, very good question. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think adding your signature to the back is wonderful. So real quick before we go, would you guys like to see what we're going to make next week? I'm excited about these cards. This will be on September 8th, so next Thursday. This is another funful. I'm in a funful mood, you guys. So here we go. Are you ready? This one, it's similar to what we just created, but look at this. This is a mantle worthy, right? We love the mantle worthies. So you can see how it just kind of opens, but we have kind of a little extra flap going there. I loved this one. Bear with me because I don't even remember the name of that one. This is the one that we're actually going to create next week. And you can see, look, we added some designer series paper, little take care of yourself. Let's get together soon. Again, very mantle-worthy card. This is with a cup of tea. So we're going to create those cards next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I hope you guys will join me. Can I show you one more card? If you subscribe to my newsletter, I created a card very similar to this for my niece who's having a baby. And so I thought it was such a fun card that I wrote a tutorial for you. So if you subscribe to my newsletter, you'll get this tutorial. I'll be sending that out in the next day or two. But isn't it just adorable? Really had fun with that one. And yeah, I'd love for you guys to have that free tutorial. Want to know how? Go over to simplysimplestamping.com. Hang around there long enough. You're going to get a little pop-up that's going to ask you to subscribe. So when you subscribe, you'll be able to get my newsletter. I send it out just twice a month. It's got all kinds of fun things. This is where I really get more of a chance to be a little more personal with you. So yeah, I hope you'll join that. So, okay. I think that's all. Like I said, my little COVID brain doesn't remember everything, but thanks so much for all of your well wishes. By the way, I have to say one more thing. You guys have bombarded my mailbox with happy mail. I can't even begin to tell you how much you blessed me. I have cards galore. There's no way I could have shared them here. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a special YouTube live with just all the cards that you guys sent me because there's so many. We would be here for a while. So I'm going to share that in just a separate YouTube live. If you're subscribed to my newsletter, you'll hear about it. So I hope that you guys will do that. If you need any Stampin' Up! Supplies and you're looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. SimplySimpleStamping.com is where you can go. Check it out. There's lots of inspiration there for you. Hey, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, share with your stamping friends, and go ahead and click the subscribe button. We would love to have you here on the channel. If you want YouTube to let you know when I'm live, there's a little bell. Click the bell, subscribe. It's an awesome place to come hang out every Tuesday and Thursday. Well, my friends, that is all for me. Thank you so much for being here and your patience over the last few weeks. I love you guys so much. Mwah! Have a great day. Bye.